The power of discipline and routine, especially for us as athletes, is one of the biggest things that I have learned playing over here in Japan. And not just from my team, but this is something that every single team and just the way that you play and practice and compete over here. And I have just learned so much about how it actually translates into more success, more confidence, translates directly into the game and how you live your life. So I want to share some of those things around discipline and routine and how it can help you on and off the softball field. So the two types of discipline that I want to talk about is action and motivation. So action, the things that we act on to create good habits. Discipline can create good habits and help us unlearn old bad habits that we might have. These habits might be making your bed every day, or the routines that you have that you do every day in warm-ups, or the drills you do every day before practice. All of those things are the discipline that can create good habits. The second type of discipline is motivation. And discipline and motivation are different because you're not going to always have motivation. But if you always have discipline and have the willpower, then you can create your own motivation. That you don't need motivation in order to get things done, in order to grow in some way. So discipline can become your motivation. When we don't want to do something, you do it anyway because you have discipline and you understand that you know it's for the greater good, and whatever the task is, whatever you don't want to do in that moment, if you do it, it's actually going to help you and benefit you in the long run. So action and motivation. Discipline helps create good habits with good action, and discipline can become our motivation when we don't have any. If we do whatever the task is every single day, if we do something every single day the same way, we are going to create a habit. Good or bad. You could be creating bad habits doing something every single day that maybe is the wrong way to do something. But if we do something correctly and create a better habit for ourselves because we continuously do it every single day, we are going to gain more confidence. The more we do something over and over again consistently, the better at it we get and the more confidence we are going to gain from doing that. So what I've learned in Japan too on how we approach every single day, the routines we have around practice prior to a game, how we meet and discuss what we're going to do for that day, the specifics that we get into about what practice is going to look like. We give gratitude to the field every single day, pre and post game or practice. So what I have learned in Japan just about how we approach each day, the routine about meeting before practice and before a game on what the specifics are for that day. We give gratitude every single day, pre and post game and practice. We give gratitude to the field. We do these consistent things every single day. So as athletes, showing up to the field, showing up to work, you know exactly what is going to be done for that day. You know the consistency that you are going to get. And you also can understand why we're doing something. As athletes, it's easier for us to fully commit to something and have the discipline and want to create good habits around whatever it is because we know exactly why we're doing something. So here's a fun example of just how teams take infield here in Japan. This specifically is my team. I play for Team Honda, but all teams do this, and this is something that they do every single day. They are so disciplined, so consistent with how they field the ball, how on point the throw is. And again, this is something they do every single day and have created amazing habits that translate directly into the game because of how focused and consistent they are with practicing this. So how do we create more discipline? How can we do this on a daily basis? And maybe you're by yourself working and you're not with a team right now. How can we stay disciplined and create better habits? So I have 3 specific things that I truly feel like have helped me have specifics on what I need to do to get done every day, to be more disciplined, to have more motivation to do things when I don't want to do them, because I have set these 3 specific guidelines for myself that I follow on and off the softball field. The first is set specific rules. So yes, we can have goals, but these can get lost because we aren't making them specific enough, and we don't really check back in with ourselves. So make your rule, make a goal, but how are you going to do this every single day? Make it black and white and don't allow yourself to get into the gray area. So for example, I had a goal of wanting to create a better morning routine for myself, because I know that in the mornings, if I can set myself up for success and be in a better headspace mentally, I can set myself up for a better day. So I wanted to create a better morning routine. But what does that actually look like? How am I actually going to do that? That's a great goal, but again, set specific rules. So two of those rules can be, I'm going to make my bed every single day, and I'm going to drink water right away when I wake up. Those are 2 things that I have control over, that are easy, doable things I can do every single morning, and that I know are going to help me create a better morning routine. Number 2, set a specific timeline to check back in with yourself. So again, it's great to have the goal, the rule that you set for yourself, but if you don't actually check back in and see how it's going, or if you need to adjust anything, then how are we really going to know if it's working? So give yourself something that you're going to commit to for a certain amount of time. I'm going to commit to making my bed and drinking 2 glasses of water right when I wake up for 10 days. And I'm going to check back in with myself after those 10 days and see if I need to adjust anything, see how I'm feeling, see how it's going, understand a little bit more about the process in those 10 days on how you felt day 1 versus day 10. And then we can adjust and go from there into maybe I feel good and I can add more to this. I can do more in the morning because I need to. Or maybe you went too high, you shot too high with your goal and you need to scale back a little bit. That's okay too. But if we never check back in and give ourselves an actual deadline and a timeline to check, then we're not going to be specific in reaching that goal. The third is the 5-second rule. And I have learned this from Mel Robbins, who is absolutely amazing if you want to check out her work and what she does in her podcast. But the 5-second rule is something she made up, where she counts backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And right when you hit 1, you need to get up, go, do whatever it is you need to do. For example, in the morning, you don't want to get up in the morning and you start to contemplate in your mind or give yourself excuses on, that's okay, I can sleep a little bit longer, or let me just lay here for 10 more minutes. The second that you start trying to talk yourself out of something, your mind is going to talk you out of it. So you have 5 seconds from when that negative thought enters into creating action and getting out of bed or doing the task, going for the run, whatever it is that's holding you back and you're having that negative thought about. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, action instead of thinking. So number 1, set a specific rule or goal for yourself. Number 2, set a specific timeline to check back in with yourself about your goal. And number 3, the 5-second rule. And doing all of these things, I can promise you that you are going to be more productive because you're taking more action instead of thinking. You're going to be less stressed because you're not procrastinating or letting your mind talk you out of things. You're making better choices. And number 3, you are going to have more self-love. You are going to love yourself and accept yourself more because you're doing things, because you are more productive and less stressed and making better choices, and you're starting to see results. So you do more of those good choices, and all of those things add up to loving yourself even more.